And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break here, but we have our players. We have everyone ready, and we are jumping into our grand finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup number 50. We have our two Protoss players. We have a bit of a veteran in ArT, and we have a newcomer in Shameless. Shameless has been rising through the ranks for the past year of play, but this is his first finals in Sparkling Tuna Cup. Meanwhile, ArT is no stranger to the finals. We'll see if we have a new champion or an old one. We're jumping into our best of 5, and if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you believe will be our champion this week. Will it be one Protoss or the other? Up to you to decide. Best of luck with your predictions. It's spawning in the top left hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our pink Polish Protoss player. It is ArT for the Platinum Heroes. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. And as we settle into this gap, we got a big shout out to Phaser in the chat. Phaser213, thank you so much for subscribing for 13 months, over a year of support. Thank you so much for subscribing. Hope you enjoy the content, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Likewise, shout out to Hobo Wiz in the chat as well. Hobo Wiz, a bit of an older school viewer. It's been a while since I have seen you in the chat, so welcome back. Good to see you back. Hope you've been enjoying yourself. Hope you've been having a good time outside of StarCraft. Welcome back, Bobby. Good to see you. As we're settling in, we are settling into game number 1. As a reminder, it's going to be a best of 5. Best of 5 at Grand Finals, a PvP galore here. Both ArT and Shameless have proven themselves in the PvP matchup. ArT took down Geralt, Shameless took down Christianer. They're both ready, they're both warmed up. They're both jumping into the finals, raring to go. For now, 2-gate opener. 2-gate opener out of Shameless, 2-gate opener out of ArT. 2 gates all around. So far, so good. As ArT is going to be moving out across the map again, scouting the main base, checking for pylons. The juice box has been thrown down. Let's go. Powering that pylon. The juice, Pappy, the juice. We got it. We do have a second pylon in the main. Likewise, ArT getting a second pylon in the main base as well. So no proxies being set up whatsoever. No proxy pylons. No cheese early on. Not now. Not yet. This can still lead into a crazy one-way stall in. We can still kind of work into that direction, but not going to be the case for the time being. That's going to be the case. Pylons are on the way. See both Shameless and ArT just trying to keep up with each other. ArT going for the pylon block. Sorry, Shameless going for the pylon block on ArT. ArT pulling away with his own worker, going for a proxy pylon across the map. Okay, you have my attention. I mentioned before that just because there's no proxy early on doesn't mean there's no all-in. But ArT is banking resources and looks like he will be expanding. So he's going to be aggressive, yes, but not all-in. The Nexus is on the way. There we go. Nexus is on the way. Meanwhile, ooh, the pylon has been found. Nice movement here out of Shameless. Does scout the pylon. Is aware. And is looking to shut it down. And we force a cancel on that gateway. And back at home, ArT opening up Robo. Meanwhile, Shameless, initially, without Oracle, can move out across the map. And can be quite assertive. Pylon will fall. Shameless has map control. ArT does hide his probe. Does still have it active on the map, but is racing back home. Probe is racing back. Oracle's on the way. Oh, my apologies. Predictions open. Yeah, the predictions were a little bit late to open, but they're open. They're there. And now Shameless dancing with the main army. And is going to get a sentry. He's going to get a second sentry as well. Ooh, 2 sentries go down. Oracle into the main base. ArT out of position. Probes are falling left and right. Yeah, ArT's being pulled apart. We get 3 probe kills so far. A lot of lost mine time. At the same time, we hit the natural. Shielder goes down as well. And ArT just having a hard time keeping up. Shield battery does fall. ArT was unable to scout the tech. Unable to scout to that Stargate. Let's go with his pants down. Second Oracle joins the first. No shield battery in the main. The Oracle's taking one shot. We do split them up though. One Oracle for each mineral line. We just get the one probe. Oh my god, taking a lot of damage. Not the best trade here from Shameless. Likewise, ArT is ready and is natural as well. Will minimize losses. And will force back that Oracle. The Oracles are forced back. Likewise, Shameless back at home, settling in. We have our 4-gate setup, 4-gate blink on 2 bases. Quite aggressive, actually. I mentioned before in the previous series about Geralt playing safe, getting up to 3 gateways before expanding, but getting up to 4, that is quite a lot. That's quite committed. We're going to have a lot of Stalkers. We're going to have a lot of Stalkers on the side of Shameless. Meanwhile, ArT down with Blink. Twilight Council on the just now finishing. Blink is now on the way, but we have to rely upon Immortals to survive and to defend. The Immortals what we have to hope on, what we have to rely upon. Is it going to be enough? The Revelation, oh my god. Revelation comes off, and here we go. Shameless is moving out with a massive amount of Stalkers. Looking at the units tab, it's going to be 13 Stalkers for Shameless. Meanwhile, ArT is expanding. The goal here shouldn't just be to deny the third, but should be to get even more damage than that. Pylons on the way to reinforce. Again, we are committed. No third base for Shameless. He does blink in. Going for the Immortal. We do lose one of those Stalkers. 2 Stalkers go down for 1 Immortal. A good trade here for Shameless. And he can break through. He cleans up what little is left. 2 Stalkers remaining, and we can focus them down one after the other. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Very nice change of pace here. Again, Shameless versus Cristiano was very different. Where Cristiano, he was in the driver's seat the entire series, and Shameless had to be the defender against Cristiano time and time again. This time, Shameless, he takes control of the wheel. He does take control. He's the aggressor instead, and he is the one to pull ArT apart. Very different dynamic. Very impressive stuff here. GG. GG, well played. Shameless does take a lead, but that is merely a lead. You know, it's a best-of-5 finals. Plenty more games ahead of us. Plenty more games to come. I want to believe. I want to believe we can bounce back as we're getting ready for game number 2. Jumping into game 2, it's going to be on Golden Aura. Okay. Jumping into game 2. And Shameless has a nice lead. But, again, we still have plenty more games ahead of us. There's still plenty of opportunities for ArT to bounce back and to bring it back home. I want to believe he can. Want to believe he can. When's the next cast? When I have new jokes. New jokes come daily. Steel, you can just rehash the old jokes, Pappy. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Enough time has passed where your old jokes, they feel new again. Because, you know, I'm sure a bunch of people haven't heard them. There you go. For now, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our pink Polish Protoss player down in the series, looking to bounce back here and now and tie the series up. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is ArT. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds, lead the series 1-0. It is Shameless. Let's go. Shameless does lead the series. Let's see if we can extend that lead. But now, throwing down the juice box, juicing up. Going for his initial 2-gate opener, I imagine. Probe is being sent out. ArT moving out across the map. I must admit, I don't know what or who that is. Exactly, that's what I mean. Just rehash the old content. People won't know that it's old. They'll think it's new. There you go. It's catching up. As we see Shameless once again being the aggressor here, this time committing to a very real proxy pylon. Okay. Pylon has been thrown down, and ArT is aware. ArT is aware that, hold up, where's your second pylon? Your second pylon is missing. It should be in the main base. It is not where it should be, and we're now on the hunt. We're now on the hunt here for that pylon, and we are scouting towards the north. We're going for the going for the center location. It's a very common location for a proxy robo. Speaking of, it is a robo, but over on the left-hand side instead. Shameless is going for the one base all in. Robo has been placed. ArT still checking, still looking. Again, checking the more standard proxy locations. Sends out a zealot. Also checking on the right-hand side. Ooh, as ArT did open up gate into Cybercore, into Robo. Okay, I'm liking the Robo opener. Very defensive. Ooh, as ArT barely does not confirm. So ArT is cutting corners in a sense, as he's opening up a little bit more economically for a faster expansion. But with our tech of choice, we have defensive Immortals. Immortals should be on the way for ArT, as he's still looking for the proxy and will eventually find it. Yeah, the probe does waddle by, and we do confirm the Robo. We do confirm Immortals are now on the way. Shameless back at home is going for his additional gateway, so it's going to be 3 gates back at home and potentially a 4th gateway proxied as well. Shameless is moving out. Let's catch the probe. And ArT, very strong response, does throw down a wall of shield batteries. 2 shield batteries, second pylon on the way. Now, upon seeing this setup, upon confirming that ArT has not expanded, I would not be opposed to Shameless taking his own expansion. I would not be opposed to that, but we'll see. Let's just see Prisms moving out across the map. Bold move out of ArT. Going for Adept Harass into the main base of Shameless. Meanwhile, the Immortal has arrived. As Shameless, he's doubling down. He's doubling down. Getting to the War Prism. Headed towards the main base of ArT. Meanwhile, back at home, we have a shield battery, not much more. Oh. Don't have much more to defend. Pylon's on the way. Shameless has been covered to be supply blocked. Does threaten the shade. And ArT will warp in across the map. He's going for the mineral line. He's going for the Adepts. He's going for the Adepts. The pylon is going to go down. Thankfully, we have a backup pylon behind this. Ooh, ArT's getting supply blocked. No more warp-ins. Shameless does reinforce back at home, but Adepts, they get into the mineral line. Probes are going down. So Adepts can one-shot workers. Oof. And we're getting 4 probe kills. Aye. Getting up almost 5. Almost. Prism taking a lot of damage. Oh my god. Taking a lot of hits. Prism recalls back home. Zelda's cleaned up. And now we can focus on the defense. We can focus on the main fight. And ArT trying to break out. Nice force field. Oh. Zoning away the army. He is zoned away, but again, because of ArT's Robo Opener, he does have that Immortal advantage. To even things up, 3rd Immortal on the way for ArT. Does have the Immortal lead. And Shameless, he cannot break through this. He is going to be forced back. Back at home, no expansion yet. Shameless going for a drop. So is ArT. Great minds think alike. The War Prisms do walk past each other. ArT is going to be the first to expand. Shameless a little bit late with his own expansion. Because he's not expanding. Shameless is still committed. Oh, we have to be so careful with this War Prism. If we can somehow catch the Prism, that could be game as well. That goes for both players. Blue Station confirms still no expansion. Prism into the main. We will not get the pylon. Ooh, just barely. Pylon does survive. Immortals dropping across the map. Threading the mineral line. Ooh, one Stalker goes down, a second Stalker goes down. Yeah, the power of the Immortal drop, and Shameless, he has to keep pushing in. He has to get some kind of damage. ArT forced to pick up. Shameless denies the expansion. We at least get that. But it's not like Shameless has his own base. That's the problem here. We need to expand. Or we need to commit. Force field does catch two Adepts. Adepts are going down. ArT, oh my god. Overextending for a moment. But does keep the Immortals alive. The Prism as well. The Prism is so low. Shameless, he wants it! He wants the Prism! Oh, he won't get it though. Barely will not. Meanwhile, ArT has the greater economy, has the higher worker count, the larger army as well. And things are looking bleak for Shameless. Forced to pick up, forced to pull away. Likewise, ArT getting on that pylon. We'll bring it down. Depowers 2 gateways as well. And Shameless is getting picked apart. At this point, he's barely defending back at home. He went for the base, going for disruptors. I mean, that's a way to recover. Sure. That's the way to do it. First disruptor is out, and a disruptor can make or break a fight, but one disruptor on its own, it's not going to be good enough. The Prism! No! The Prism goes down! Blink is done. ArT breaks out. And it's all or nothing for Shameless. Force fields are thrown down. We lock down the army. Nova goes off. Takes down 3 Adepts. Not bad. But ArT, he has so much more than that. He's going to be able to focus on every single Immortal. And once a Force field runs out, we can break out. We can just keep pushing. Do we have another Force field? Up! Not quite. Not quite, as we're going to be able to break on through. GG gets called. The final disruptor goes down, and ArT will tap the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. GG. GG, well played. ArT will bring it back. I'm thinking I remember old content. True. But GG, well played. ArT will bring it back again. Shameless, unfortunately, the longer it went on, the worse it became. Likewise, ArT never expanded. ArT did open up with a Gate Cybercore, but did not expand until far later in the game. And because of that, the one-base all-in from Shameless was that much less effective. He was going for one-base all-in against a player that was playing one base. You know, it was just less than ideal. Likewise, ArT with the Robo Opener had that many more Immortals to work with. And it did take it in the end. And now we're going to be jumping into game number 3. Let's go. Getting into that third game. And we'll see who takes the lead in the series. Again, it's still best of 5, so this won't quite crown our champion, but we'll give one of these two players quite a bit of momentum. And we'll see where this takes us. This morning in the top right-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have the pink Polish Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. Tying up the series 1-1, it is ArT. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds. It is a Shameless. We go. Once again, juicing up. Throwing down that box. Setting up on the high ground. We're leading into Crimson Court, and similarly to what we said in the Geralt series earlier today, Crimson Court can be quite defendable. We can settle in towards the mid-game. Can be a little bit harder to be assertive early on. And I'm sure after the failed proxy from Shameless, we're going to be calming things down a little bit here. And having a much more standard early game. There we go. 2-gate opener out of ArT. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Shameless. 2 gates all around. Oh, meanwhile, ArT, where are we headed? We're setting up for a proxy gateway. Okay. Proxy Stargate, I should say. A form of gateway. As ArT, he mines through the gold mineral patches, he makes his way over towards the corner of the map, and we're setting up for that proxy. Very similar to what we see on Alkione, or what we used to see on Alkione, I should say. Where you mine through the middle wall and you throw down a proxy right next to the main of your opponent. Oh boy. And you don't often see this anymore. It's been a while. As we settle in, a big shout out to GG Machine. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Papi, thank you so much for the raid. STG. Papi, where were you in today's tournament? We only had Nikic. we had Nikic and Matt. We had 2 Zerg players, Papi. We needed more Zerg representation. GG Machine. Good morning. But thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great time. As a welcome everyone to the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. We're here in the grand finals. And we do have the proxy Stargate. At the same time, Shameless does pylon block. We do see Shameless going for the faster expansion. But is Shameless ready for the Oracle? The answer for now is no.
Enemies are blasting your pylon.
The answer is no. Adepts are moving out. They're going to be threatening a shade. ArT does not wall off. Oh, Adepts are shade in. They shade in. Probes are going to be going down. Very nice damage here out of Shameless. At the same time, we also shade in as well. Oh my god, chaos everywhere. Probes look away as workers are going down left and right. We lose 7 workers on both sides, getting an 8th probe, getting a 9th probe as well. 9 probe kills in the main. Meanwhile, 8 in the main base of ArT. Very similar trades, but we are not done. The Oracle has arrived. And what do we have in the main to defend? We have 3 sentries. That's not good enough. 1 Stalker comes in. We can just keep going. Adepts a shade back in as well. We're getting 14 probe kills and counting. 15. Can we get 16? Not quite. Not yet. But 15 probes go down. Another Oracle's on the way. Now, Shameless does have a natural. He can expand. He can make 2 probes at a time. ArT still has yet to throw down the Nexus. Bear that in mind. Shameless can recover. Shield battery is done. So Shameless isn't out of it yet. But for the time being, ArT does have the economic lead. And is moving out with an army. Which is more than I can say for Shameless. Shameless, he's down to just sentries and one Stalker. That's all he has. We have the shield battery, we have the overcharge, true. 2nd Stalker warps in. Probes, they hit the natural. Dragging away the army. ArT, barely does keep the Stalkers alive, and we catch out a Stalker. We catch out a sentry even. Bleeding out the shield battery. Overcharge is still available. We're holding on to it. We're not wasting it. Behind this, ArT finally expanding. ArT is going to be expanding back at home. Oracle zipping back in. Oh, threatening a dive. We're going to be okay. Rare announcer, small. Yeah, who was that announcer? What was that? I couldn't immediately recognize who that was. It wasn't like a caster. It was like a... Was it Raynor? Was it like an in-game character announcer? Do the thing. Do the...
Engaging the enemy.
We'll figure it out. It's like, not Diva? Crazy. He's not a weeb. As Oracles are dipped back in. And how many probe kills have we gotten so far? 19! 19 workers have gone down. But the economy is actually looking quite similar here when it comes to the overall worker count. The big reason for that is just because of how delayed the expansion was for ArT. How much later this Nexus was. Of course, they still threaten the natural. They're still keeping Shameless pinned. Meanwhile, ArT, with the additionally earlier boosted economy, was able to make use of that, get into his Twilight Council, into Blink. Blink is almost done. And ArT, instead of throwing down 2 more gates and going for like a committed, 2 base all in, we're taking a 3rd. ArT is getting further ahead. He is looking to get further ahead instead. So we have our Forge on the way, working towards upgrades, once again letting us know that ArT is not going out anytime soon, that he is planning for upgrades, for tech, for a base, for saturation, for the mid-game. So we're just going to be calming things down. Likewise, Shameless, not too far behind with his own 3rd base timing. Getting into his own 3rd. Let's see if he can get there. Until then, we're going to have a bit of a lull here in this game. After the early intensity with all those workers falling, now we're taking our 3rd bases, we're expanding, we're calming down. ArT is going to be able to maintain a lead when it comes to his overall tech, when it comes to his economy. Shameless is going for Glaives. I do appreciate this. This does tell us that Shameless wants to hit a bit of an earlier timing. I do think that in a more standard, longer game, Shameless is going to fall a little bit behind. So this does make sense. So we'll see what Shameless's army is going to be looking like when he does break out. Meanwhile, ArT's going for a more standard unit composition, like Stalkers, Charge Lots. Has yet to embrace further tech like Archon production, but I'm sure we're working towards it. We're getting there. Gateway explosion on the way. Folks being knocked down. We are taking extra gases. Another expansion on the way. The rover has arrived. And Shameless is going to be building up towards Immortal Adept. Immortals and Glaive Adept specifically. And ArT is still working on a mass gateway composition. No Immortals or Archons for our Pink Protoss player. He is moving out. He's spotted by that Observer. He's going to be spotted. Shameless keeping up. Threatening a blink. Interesting. So I assumed that ArT was going to be working towards Archons, but no, we're skipping Archons entirely. This is a little bit risky. I'm a little bit concerned for ArT, but he's skipping Archons, he's skipping Immortals, he's going into Disruptors instead. And if he can get away with this, he will snowball out of control. The problem being is I'm pretty sure Shameless intends to move out first. Pretty sure Shameless intends to break out and commit on 3 bases. Yeah, the Adepts are now on the way. The War Prism has arrived, and now we're pushing. This is what I was concerned about. ArT is vulnerable, and Shameless is breaking through, or he's pushing out. We're going to break down this 3rd base, this 4th even. We do have a stasis. Shield out of his cannons on the way. Can ArT survive? Can he make it long enough to get into those disruptors? Stasis goes down. Nice concave of Stalkers. Overcharge is popped. We have the overcharge. We have the concave. Force fields do zone away the Stalkers for now. But ArT is still buying time. Where time is working against Shameless. Once again, good force fields. Shameless gaining ground. Pushing back the army. Disruptor has arrived. Nova goes up. Up. Ooh, does connect. Being damaged on the Immortal. Takes down an Adept. And Shameless, he is taking the slightly better trade. And we'll see if he can get on top of those Immortals. It's going to be close. Shield batteries are running out of energy. The Immortals are getting low. The first Immortal goes down. There's 2 left. And 2 Immortals remaining. Nova is reset. Up. Oh my god, stasis goes off! A massive stasis. We shut down the Immortals. GG gets called, and ArT will take the fight, and will take a 2-1 lead. Whew. GG. Whether it was the stasis or the Nova that was about to connect as well, ArT was going to take the fight and will be one game away. One game away from becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. Ooh. One more is all he needs. The pressure is on Shameless. The pressure is on. It's the ghost from the Nova missions. Oh, okay. I don't know who his name is. No idea. You're asking me for a lore name of a ghost that isn't like Nova or Kerrigan or Duran. Like I don't know. It isn't Tosh. It's a Spectre and technically not a ghost. But yeah, that guy. Yeah, him. You know him. But here we go. Getting into game 4. ArT needs one more to be our champion. Meanwhile, Shameless, he needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. Oh boy. The pressure is on. Does it all end here and now? As we're settling into game 4. As a reminder, we should be jumping into WTL after this finals as well. Gonna be slightly behind when it comes to WTL, but we'll catch up. We'll get there. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have our pink Polish Protoss player, one game away from becoming our champion this week. And can he bring it home here and now? It is ArT. For the Platinum Heroes. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Twisted Minds. It is Shameless. He's up against the wall. It is his first time in the finals of a Sparkling Tuna Cup, so already an amazing performance, already an amazing run for Shameless. But he wants to go further. He wants to go further than that. He wants to at least force the ace match. As we're entering an interesting dynamic. It's going to be a gate expand and a Shameless. Meanwhile, ArT going for what looks to be a 2-gate opener. Oh boy. I'm curious. My eyes are definitely going to be on ArT here. We have the gateway on the high ground. And show us the proxy! And probe is moving out. Setting up for a pylon. A very suspicious probe, but it's actually pulling a little bit further back. Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a 2-gate opener out of ArT. And if we throw down a pylon here, this doesn't look like a proxy robo. Cybercore is on the way. Interesting. Probe Scout coming in. Pylon is thrown down. Shameless will soon recognize that the pylon is missing. But this looks like a proxy Stargate. Looks like ArT may just embrace a bit of a longer game instead. If it's a Stargate opener, that means that we're still planning on expanding, and the Stargate is designed to get some economic damage done instead. We'll see if that's the case. We're waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is done, and yeah, the Stargate is on the way. So proxy Stargate out of ArT should be headed towards Oracle production, harassing the mineral lines, and taking an economic lead. I mean, I say an economic lead, really it's to keep up economically, to sustain ourselves. Just because Shameless will have the faster expansion, and faster Nexus, faster expansion, means a higher worker count. And ArT has to try to maintain control of that. Meanwhile, you can see Shameless, he's looking for the proxy. He checks his linear third, he's scouting the 4th base location, checking the northern locations as well, as these are more common proxy Stargate positions. ArT being a little bit cheeky is going to be shut down, going for a pylon in the main base. ArT. Calm down, Papi, calm down. We will eventually force a cancel. Oh, there we go. We do force a cancel. Stargate's done. Oracle's almost finished. Is moving out. And ArT does go for a much later expansion. Again, that's why there's a lot of pressure on ArT to get some economic damage. Here we go, he's moving out. He's now moving out, making his way across the map. Headed for the mineral line. We do catch a couple of probes, we're not quite ready. 3 probes go down. Shield battery needed a couple more seconds. It's a little bit too late, and we're still not done. We got 5, we got 6. 6 probe kills. The Oracle does slip away. Meanwhile, second Oracle has arrived. Back at home, Twilight Council for Blink. I imagine Blink. Head towards a gateway composition. Double Oracle making its way back into the main. Oof. And we can one-shot probes. Getting another 4, almost 5. 4 probes go down. 10 in total. Ay, ay, ay. It's going to be 10 worker kills at the same time. We get across the map. We don't get any damage done. GG gets called then and there. As Shameless unable to get any counter damage, and ArT will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. I misspoke. He is this week's Sparkling Protoss Cup champion. All the PvPs. Let me just double check. ArT, this week he took down Shameless, he took down Geralt, took down Rostock, and Bokjin. Bokjin even. I believe nothing but PvPs. Okay. I get, he had a Zerg player. All good, all good. GG, well played. Congratulations, as ArT does take the win here, and he is going to be this week's champion. Congratulations. My condolences to Shameless. Shameless does tap out, but a shout out to Shameless because, remember, this was his first time making it to the finals, and it was not an easy run. It was not an easy road to the finals for Shameless. He brought down Cristiano, who is part Tuna, who has the most Tuna Cup wins out of any other player in the world. So yeah, really impressive stuff there out of Shameless. May have lost here in the finals, but no shame in that. Shameless. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to ArT. Very well done, very well played. To your first. And we're going to be seeing more of ArT in the coming weeks as well, as the House of Galactic Battle number 3, if I'm not mistaken, is right around the corner. I believe we're going to be seeing the best Protoss players in Poland duking it out, and I believe ArT is going to be there for the first time. I don't think he was there for number 2 or number 1, but we'll be there for number 3. So, is exciting stuff on the way for ArT. Meanwhile, if you want to support the tournament, if you want to help support these players and the tournament, Matcherino in the chat. Our players are paid out via Matcherino, so you know, boost the prize pool for this week's tournament if you wish. Otherwise, you can help support the tournament via Patreon. Patreon is the place to do it as well, as our event is fully funded via Patreons. So big shout out to Patreon and our patrons as well. Thank you so much for all the support that we do get. It's thanks to you guys that we're able to actually fund these events and host them as often as we do, whether it's Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up for the time being, in a sense, but we're going to be getting ready for WTL. World Team League is right around the corner. World Team League, of course, did begin during the finals, and I believe they are currently mid-series. So we're going to try to catch up. We're going to try to catch up on WTL. We do need a couple of minutes. We do need a couple of minutes to set everything up, to set up our overlays, and to get the stream ready. So give us a little bit of time to get things going, and once we do, we're going to be jumping into Starlight Twinkle versus Shopify Rebellion. We're going to be featuring players like Bjorn, featuring players like Scarlet, as well as it's going to be Bjorn, Scarlet, and Hearthstone as well. Ooh. So yeah, plenty of content up ahead of us. Plenty of StarCraft still on the horizon. It's still coming, man. It's still coming. So, yeah, otherwise, with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. We're going to be heading off. We're going to be going on a small break. And when we return, World Team League is coming up next. See you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon.